All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw review for January 4th, 2016, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before I start, I'd like to apologize to one of my subscribers, Wrestling Fan 1999, for the inconvenience of all this technological crap. We were supposed to go on air with each other for this review. He's been a follower for quite some time since this channel has started. I do apologize to him with this situation. He's having a problem with the mic, or there's a problem with my end. I'm not sure. We're gonna try to work out the kinks tomorrow for Random Wrestling Talk episode number 6. If anyone is interested in wanting to hear about what we have to say and what we got to talk about, you're more than welcome to join us live at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Now, on with the show. I do, again, apologize to Wrestling Fan 1999 for the inconvenience of technology, but hey, we have it, and it drives us all crazy, doesn't it? But yeah, this technology's been driving me crazy forever. But without a further ado, we're gonna start things off with this Monday Night Raw review, kicking things off with Roman Reigns and Stephanie McMahon. Roman Reigns comes out, discusses. Actually, Stephanie first comes out, wants to address Roman Reigns, but he comes out the exact same time. During this discussion, he calls out Vince McMahon, as in reverse what Vince McMahon did last week on Monday Night Raw. Stephanie said that he wasn't going to be there just yet. He shows up an hour later in the show. She, says it's going to be great when he loses his title, and he's going to be a slave to Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, and she's the boss of him, like Vince McMahon was to her earlier to his earlier generation and his family, and so forth, and yada yada yada. And this bull crap went on and on. There was a little bit of improvement on Roman Reigns' part with, his promo. I liked it. I thought it was pretty decent. I thought it was kind of okay. It wasn't that bad. It was a lot better than the last couple of times he's been in the ring with Stephanie and Vince McMahon and so forth, where he pretty much said hardly nothing at all, and not really showing a lot of emotion. In this one, he pretty much mentions that if Vince McMahon tries to screw him out of the title, she was going to be taking him out of a hospital instead of out of jail like he was last week, which was fucking horrible episode nonetheless. This one was a little bit better, but still pretty fucking boring. Now let's get into the boredom part. Again, what in the fuck in the world was the point of Neville and Kevin Owens going one-on-one with each other again? It's like they're trying to build a story with Neville and Owens, only one problem. The story is based around fucking Owens and Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose sat at ringside, watched the match, did commentary, and, watched everything unfold. Owens won the match in 9 minutes and 15 seconds, a decent little opener, but nonetheless, it was a match that was already done. What's the fucking point in doing all that? It's like, it makes absolutely no sense. It's pointless. I could understand if the match didn't have an ending, but it did. Neville won. Whatever. So, again, 50-50 booking in this situation, I guess. Whatever. Don't really matter. Fucking boring shit. After the match, Ambrose had enough of watching Neville get his ass kicked, and, Dean helped out. Later on in the show, they mentioned that Ambrose and Kevin Owens will be going one-on-one against each other for the Intercontinental Championship for SmackDown. That's kind of dumb. Why not save it for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view? I mean, you ain't got a lot of slots taken up for that show. You built a pretty good story between Owens and Dean Ambrose here. Why not throw those two on the Royal Rumble card as a regular match and have them face each other for the Intercontinental? And not to mention, throw them in there for the Royal Rumble on top of it. I mean, they've done it before. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. It would be worth their time and investment to do that, you know. So that was really stupid on their part. I understand it's, the first episode on SmackDown for them to be on the USA Network and they're trying to get rating grabbers, but they could have just done a simple fatal, a false count anywhere match with Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose, and if Kevin Owens won, he gets a shot for the Intercontinental title again. And instead, they're doing this, you get a rematch on SmackDown. No! You make Kevin Owens work for you. Have him kick Dean Ambrose's ass, and then at that point, you have those two face each other at the Royal Rumble for the Intercontinental Championship. It would make a lot more sense. He's earning the spot back to from losing the Intercontinental title from Dean Ambrose. Regardless, yeah, he gets a rematch clause and all that bullshit that they've thrown in with losing the title, but I mean, other sports like boxing and UFC, even though they're, real and they're not like WWE, well, WWE's a fixed show and supposedly, is fake, but the things they do in that ring, they do get hurt from time to time. In UFC and boxing, a champion loses his title, he has to work his way back into the title contention. He's got to win a few matches before he can be declared the number one contender again. And I think they should do that sometimes with, with some people to help build them up somewhat. I think that is very helpful. I mean, if you don't do that, it doesn't give any credibility to the title, number one. Number two, it doesn't help build the characters that you got on the show. So, I mean, it's a double whammy right there. If you build the character in earning a shot for the title, it makes the title seem important, and it makes the character that's fighting for that opportunity important as well, and building them. So, I mean, that is just completely idiotic and foolish for WWE to do that. But who cares? I mean, at this point, they're just going to do what they want to do, and that's it. But, I mean, that's just a little thing they could throw out there and, have something worth people investing their time and watching. It'd be more entertaining that way. But this is WWE for you. What are you going to do? Except accept it for what it is and move on with your life. Or go ahead and try finding some other wrestling company that's better than this shit. Pretty much. Titus O'Neil versus Stardust. No need to talk about this. This match sucked. Titus O'Neil won. Thank God. Only less than 5 minutes. Match ended in 4 minutes and 16 seconds. Didn't even really pay much attention to that. Charlotte and Becky Lynch. A little bit of story building here. Becky Lynch, she goes ahead and she got screwed by Charlotte the first time they faced each other 2 months ago, and now it's a role reversal. Becky Lynch took advantage, and she fucking went ahead and cheated her way into a victory. So, nice little throw in there. Again, don't quite understand why Becky Lynch is getting a shot for the title on SmackDown when they could fill in a slot for the Royal Rumble match on the pay-per-view, but whatever. The story is somewhat of a story. I mean, they're having interaction with each other. I mean, their matches aren't as great as they were on NXT, but regardless of all that, there's still, a story that we can look at and see a progression building with these two characters at least. And Ric Flair is somewhat of a help in there because he's like the guy that's influencing his daughter to be like him, which eventually I think she needs to span away from and like kind of explode on her father, which will give her that face turn again some point down the line. But I think they should wait on that for a while, actually, before they decide to do that. But yeah, I think that would be a great way to turn her back to being a face, but keep her a heel for now so she ain't jumping back and forth from heel, face, and so forth. But anyway, yeah, Becky Lynch ended up with the victory, and the match ended in 10 minutes and 46 seconds. So nothing too bad there. We also saw Vince McMahon go in both. Vince McMahon had Sheamus in his locker room and talking about the rules of the match. No you can't get disqualified. No outside interferences. Blah blah blah. Very, authentic towards what you would expect to see in a sporting event behind the scenes with a referee talking to both combatants in a title match. So nothing bad there. After that, I mean, it really was nothing big going on the show. I mean, it was just like a fucking complete waste of time. Ryback and Big Show, their match ended in a no contest within a minute and 20 seconds, which was pointless, but it was good because they had the Wyatt family finally show up, where I don't even know what the fuck happened to them. Supposedly last week they weren't there because of the situation with them probably working another show that was in Pennsylvania while they had the other with the Monday night this week, which was completely idiotic. I don't know what the fuck they were, but whatever. We then had a Del Rio and Rusev versus the Usos. That wasn't even all that entertaining. Del Rio and Rusev walked out with the victory within 13 minutes and 21 seconds. Who fucking cares about this? I mean, like, nothing was entertaining. Complete stale, idiotic bullshit. Who gives a fuck? Dolph Ziggler versus Heath Slater. I'm like, what was this doing on the card? Why? Why is it on my television screen? I mean, give me a fucking break here, man. The match absolutely sucked, and Dolph Ziggler loses to Heath Slater by a roll-up pin in 4 minutes and 36 seconds, less than 5 minutes. What are they doing this to Dolph Ziggler for? He's a very good entertainer. He works very hard. He puts on good matches with whoever he's against, and yet he's being treated like a second-class citizen on this program. Like, what the fuck's the point of him even being on WWE programming anymore? Like, if I was him, I'd just fucking say, fuck you, Vince, or go on the show and do whatever the hell I want and fuck their damn scripts. I mean, it's fucking retarded what they're doing to this guy. I mean, he's a great, participant in the show. He puts on a good show. He has good matches. And, like, because he got a concussion 3 years ago, now that we're in 2016, I mean, what the fuck, man? It's just retarded. We had the New Day come out. They set up random shit with fucking dildos on their heads again that are supposed to be unicorns. They look like fucking dicks on their heads. I mean, it looks like a bunch of fucking strap-ons to their fucking heads. And they're sitting there making fun of Mike Tyson on a hoverboard and whatever. I mean, like, what the fuck is this? Then we finally got something out of this damn show. Chris Jericho shows up. He announces he's a participant to the Royal Rumble, putting some star power into this Royal Rumble finally, and also putting some life into this fucking show. I mean, this show, outside of Roman Reigns' promo with Stephanie McMahon, with the audience just cheering for Roman Reigns because I guess they had nothing else better to do. And mostly it was just women and kids cheering for Roman Reigns and a few guys. But outside of that, there was nothing going on here until Jericho showed up. Then everyone was up. They were excited. They were chanting along with Chris Jericho. Jericho came up with a funny catchphrase for the New Day for the audience to cheer for and chant. I forgot what it was, nor does it matter. It was a PG, lame version of what Chris Jericho would really say if he was back in the Attitude Era. He would actually say some real funny shit. He just seemed like he was, being cut down to what he could or could not say, which took away of a lot of momentum towards the promo that he was delivering for this show, or for this segment that he was in. But regardless of all that, it was still worth watching. I mean, the guy is fucking funny as shit. Still, even with the limited capabilities that he can say on the mic. And it was just fun to watch. I mean, and they threw out there how the subscriptions, for the WWE Network, the ratings on Monday Night Raw and everything is just people just fucking, don't even care. And he feels that him being put on the show will put life into the WWE. Which is very true. I think that is true. I'm starting to see what Vince McMahon was saying about the WWE current roster. It seems that they don't give a fuck what they're thrown to do. They'll just do what they're told, and that's it. No questions asked. No fighting with the authority about what they do on the program. Nothing. If I was a guy on this show, I'd be fucking saying to Vince, I'm doing it this way. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going out there making myself look like a jackass. Fuck that shit, man. I want to go ahead, and I want to put on a good show, and I want to get audience behind me. And if you can't appreciate that, then you got the wrong guy working for you, because I'm not a lay down or a follower. I'm a guy that wants to be a revolutionary to this company and make this company entertaining again. And, if you don't think that that's the way to go, well, I'm going to do what I want to do, and you can do whatever the hell you want with me at that point. Fire me, do whatever. I don't give a fuck. That's how I'd be if I was a guy on this program. I wouldn't care what Vince McMahon said. I'd do what I want to do what I think would help sell the product and get people behind me and get a lot more, reaction. These guys don't get any fucking reaction. They just do what they do, and they go out, and that's it. It's like they're clocking in, clocking out, getting a paycheck. That's it. That ain't how you do things to become successful in the wrestling industry. You won't make it. I mean, I've never worked in the wrestling industry, but I think anywhere you go in life, if you just clock in and clock out of a job and you actually ain't trying to do more than what you're doing at the job, you're not going to do nothing. You're just going to be in the same old rut. That's it. You're going to be in the same position. You're not going to get promoted, nothing. Simple as that. So, so we had Big E, Kofi, and Xavier Woods against Kalisto and the Dudley Boyz. Dudley Boyz once again lose. Fucking lose. Wow. Very, very pathetic. New Day wins this match in 16 minutes and 37 seconds. I kind of watched it, didn't watch it, sort of thing. Whatever. wasn't all that big of a deal. Vince McMahon, we finally get the main event. Vince McMahon comes out. Guy's acting like a complete jackass, still doing the same old strut. Looks like he's got shit in his pants and what have you. Fucking retarded bastard. Old as shit. Fucking doesn't. He like has. He used to have a tan. Now he's as white as the ace, white as fucking snow. Looks like fucking cocaine, if you want to put it that way. Or looks like Sheamus' skin, practically. He looks pale as a mofo. And he's flexing his muscles. The guy's making a freaking mockery out of himself. And we get the Roman Reigns versus Sheamus match. We also got a promo video before that, like it's a pay-per-view match, which, you know, it's deserving. I guess, you know, just to make it a little bit more interesting and important, I guess you could say. But here's the deal. The match was pretty good. Very entertaining. Again, though, Roman Reigns still needs to pick up some more moves in his matches. He needs to put some other moves in his matches other than a Superman punch, a belly-to-belly suplex, spears and clotheslines and all that crap. He needs to add a little bit more to his repertoire. The match itself, though, wasn't all that bad. Very entertaining. It was your typical same old crap. Roman Reigns figured a way out of the odds and overcame them and won the match and retained his championship. For some moments, I believed that Roman Reigns was going to lose this match, and if that was the case, I'm not anyone that hates Roman Reigns, I'm cool with. I don't have a problem with you guys. Because I'm not a humongous fan of Roman Reigns. But if out of all the people they got right now, Roman Reigns is all they got for themselves. Because that's all they focused on. They ain't got no Dolph Ziggler to turn to. They sure as hell ain't. John Cena wasn't even on this program. John Cena wasn't even there tonight. Like, what the fuck? He shows up on Monday Night Raw last week, and then this week he's not there? He couldn't have been in that tag team match against Del Rio and Rusev? Are you kidding me? Like, what the hell are these guys doing? This makes no fucking sense whatsoever. So that blows my mind altogether. Trying to think here. So we get the match. The match, you know, as I said, Roman Reigns retains the belt. And, you know, there was one moment in this match that made no fucking sense to me. Roman Reigns, Superman punches Vince McMahon, spears Sheamus to the mat, pins him, but no referee. And no referee's coming out to, you know, count the 1, 2, 3. But then at the end of the show, at the very end of this match, we finally get a referee to show up when Vince McMahon is fucking out and done? Why couldn't we have gotten that like 2 minutes ago? Instead of getting all this other bullshit. Oh, to make a little bit more intrigue or something. Like, we were expecting Roman Reigns to win this match. Give me a fucking break, man. I mean, love him or hate him, whatever. We all know Vince McMahon has got a hard-on for Roman Reigns. Okay? It's as simple as that. Alright? We all know that Roman Reigns is going to stay champion, may even be the champion after WrestleMania 32. Okay? So there's no doubts about it right there. After the match ends, I don't even understand. The ending was just all fucked up when the ending could have ended a lot sooner than later. Okay? We get an announcement that the Royal Rumble match, for the second time in history, is going to host the WWE Championship, where Roman Reigns will have to defend his title against 29 other combatants for his World Heavyweight Championship. Well, leaves a little bit more intrigue, a little bit better storyline building, and leaving a little bit more, I don't know, predictability, possibly? Or maybe shock us all and give us a new fucking champion to be happy with. Such as Brock Lesnar beating Roman Reigns' ass and winning the WWE Championship back the way he should have stayed champion and should have been the champion for a whole fucking year and lost it at SummerSlam of 2015. But regardless of all that, I really would like to see Brock Lesnar beat Roman Reigns for that championship, face Roman Reigns in a rematch at Fastlane, and then Triple H screws, Roman Reigns out of the title, and we get our grudge match between Roman Reigns and Triple H. While on the other hand, we find out who ends up being the #1 contender for the WWE World Heavyweight title against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 32. I think that would be a really good idea. Set up a tournament and leave it at that. Leave it unpredictable. Give a young star an opportunity. Not Kevin Owens, because he ain't developed yet. Maybe give it to Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar. I don't think that would be a bad match. They started out with a really good storyline with them, and they could build on that for 2 whole months leading into WrestleMania 32 on April 3rd. I mean, that would be perfect. Brock Lesnar would have the capability of working with a new superstar, a guy that is, very well liked by most. I'm not a particular fan of him, but some of his gimmicks are pretty good, and his promos are pretty damn good when he's not repetitively being annoying. But the guy has some credibility that I like, and seeing him work with Brock Lesnar would be fucking awesome. I think he would have a match that people will remember, and seeing the Beast Incarnate versus the Eater of Worlds would be a hell of a fucking match for a WrestleMania World title match. And definitely not something that would be very predictable either, because you could go either way with either one of these two guys. But that's just my opinion on the show. I think it was okay, like just okay, with a few hot spots on that show. But other than that, the show fucking sucked, okay? I give the show, a 2.5 out of 5 overall. This had a lot of mishaps that needed to make the show worth watching for 3 hours. And in my opinion, it would be worth watching for an hour. That's it. The show should have been just an hour fucking show. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear your opinions and comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. And don't forget to smack it down on the subscribe button. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great night. Bye.